Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone has had a great day. And I hope that you all are having a great evening. I know a lot of you are probably just getting off work. If you are on the West Coast, I know my East Coast family, they're probably at home, just kind of finishing up dinner, hopefully relaxing, not doing too much. But I am excited about our self care chat tonight. We're going to have an amazing time. So get your pen and paper out. It's going to be a great night. So if you do not know me, well, first, go ahead and share this video. If you are tuned in, go ahead and share this video, tag your friends, tag your aunties and uncles, and just tag somebody that you know that needs a little self-care. I know I need it. It's the holiday season, and this time of year gets really, really busy for a lot of us. I know a lot of you probably help your nanny families out with getting gifts and decor and all sorts of stuff. So we need a little. By the way, I'm wearing my nanny vibe shirt. Sorry to stick my bosom in your face, but my nanny vibe shirt and everything is on sale 10% off with discount code STEPH10. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes and you guys be sure to share this video, like this video. Let us know where you're watching from. I cannot wait to hear from Alexa Ray and Miss Angela. Both just beautiful, beautiful ladies who are making waves in the nanny industry, just so unique. I just love the talent and the gifts that we have in our community. Like there's something for everybody. There is something for everybody. If you want well, I'm not going to spill the beans. I'm going to let Angela tell about that, but and if you need a little mindfulness, I'm going to let Alexa Ray tell us about that. But I'm telling you, our industry is crazy gifted, y'all. Like, I love us. I love us. So I'm just checking on my phone to make sure we are good. The video's live, and I'm excited about tonight. I know some of you will watch the replay, so make sure you watch all the way through and just support these ladies. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my first guest on. The beautiful, beautiful Miss Alexa Ray.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm gonna
Hi,
change
there
my.
you are.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm gonna change my name really fast here. Sorry, I
Yay.
use this for work too. There we go. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Looks like we have Mitch just from New York watching. Hey, Jesse. Hey,
Yes.
Sammy. Y'all come on in.
Hi.
Share this video. How's your day going?
It's going good. It's going good. I had a good day. Tuesdays are usually my work days at home, so I work on content for nannies. I led
Mm-hmm.
some nannies through some self-care yoga sessions today, did a little mindfulness session with work. So it was a really good day. And then I got some baking done in between. I
Oh,
probably overcommitted myself. Making bread, homemade bread, soup, and apple crisp right now. I had to use up all these apples that I had. So it's fun. I
yummy.
can smell everything. I'm excited.
Oh, I can smell it too.
How are
So
you doing? Your
let's,
birthday was yesterday.
it was
Sorry to interrupt
yesterday.
you. Yeah.
Uh,
How was your birthday?
it was amazing.
Good.
It was great, really relaxing, got lots of love. I mean, it hit different this year because of everything that went on. I'm like, I'm just blessed to be alive. I'm blessed to have my family.
Yes.
It was a beautiful day, and I'll be celebrating all month.
Yes, that's
So,
right. It's your birthday month. I love that.
yes, yes. But let's get into this. I'm so
Yes.
excited to have you tonight. Thank you for
You.
coming
Oh,
on. I know you got a
absolutely.
lot going on, but it's just amazing to have you chat
Oh,
with us about self-care. So can you just share a little bit about your nanny history, how you got involved and everything
yeah.
like that?
Yeah, absolutely. And also thank you so much for hosting me. I really appreciate you. You do so
Mm.
much for the community, and you were just one of those people that when I first started thinking about making a business in the nanny industry after being a nanny for a little over 22 years, you were one of the people that were just like, do it. You can join this Facebook group if you want to, you can get involved. And you were so inspiring. It took me like
Oh,
2.5 years to really figure out, okay, what do I want to do exactly? How do I go about this? But you were one of the first people that were, one, just the kindest to me, and then two, really leading the path for all of these nannies to kind of step into their own. So thank you.
oh,
It means a lot. That's kind of
thank
actually
you.
how it started, to be honest with you, was getting inspired through seeing other nannies stepping into their own past just the childcare role. And there's so much that we do. There's so many beautiful, amazing hats that we wear that we're really multifaceted in our capabilities. And I think it's like an untapped industry. And I think we're
Oh,
realizing
yeah.
that now during COVID. Um, but for me, watching kids has always been my jam. When I was 11, my brothers and sisters were born, and I watched all the neighborhood kids, all the church kids. Like I was the go-to
Mhm.
nanny. And in
Yeah.
between my corporate job and marketing, and supporting, also, I've worked in marketing. I've worked in construction, flipping homes.
Wow.
I'm dyslexic, so I like to work in several different areas. But I think the most rewarding jobs have been a labor birth doula, postpartum doula, yoga teacher for adults and children, and mindfulness teacher. And after going through my own training through yoga and mindfulness, and then really teaching these skills to kids, I started in my nanny home that I worked in with my full-time family. I asked them, I said, "Are you okay with me introducing this to the little girl that I watched at the time?" They're like, "Absolutely, go for it." And then we started doing group sessions together as a family. So we'd wake up in the morning, and I kind of felt they were so open to me kind of playing with this idea of mindfulness, social and emotional learning, connecting with the body and the mind, and how to help her evaluate her emotions on a cognitive
Mhm.
level. Everything that I was learning how to embody myself, I got to teach with the family. And it really bonded them in a way that they were seeking and grasping to bond with their child in that time period that they didn't get the 40, 50, 60 hours a week that I was there. And this
Mhm.
was a really great way to kind of introduce play therapy, if you will, while introducing in social and emotional skills and all of that. So that led me to creating the Mindful Care Collective and the Mindful Nanny Collective. And the
Mhm.
Mindful Care Collective is in an effort to bring in quality professional trainings to nannies and domestic care workers that are affordable at preferred pricing and also highly vetted. There's a
Mhm.
lot of trainings out there. And when I did my research, it was really rare that I found something at the time. This was like 3 years ago. I'm like, what is this? It's super old. It's very outdated. They never got back to my emails. And they're asking for a really high price here with kind of a low value. And I kept thinking about domestic care workers and how I'm lucky enough in my own 22 years of being a nanny where I kind of learned my boundaries. I learned how to
Yeah.
speak up for myself. Um, but for those that don't and don't perhaps know any better or have the resources, but they still want to go take these certifications or continued education to support their families, um, I mean, how do you find the right care, right? Like, how do you find the right training that's going to be for you? And how do you know what you're buying is actually a quality product? So that's how the Mindful Care Collective started. And then now I do business as the Mindful Nanny Collective. And I've taken my mindfulness training and certifications and my background. I work at Nike, teaching adult and children's yoga and mindfulness classes, courses, all the things. And so I wanted to bring that into nannies' lives because it certainly drastically changed how I connected with the children I care for. And just to be able to teach them social and emotional skills that we're just now learning
Mhm.
in 2019, 2020, we're starting to integrate these in. And now more and more schools are bringing in mindfulness and yoga. So it's really important that nannies start setting the tone of what this looks like before they get into school. So kind of preparing the whole family as a whole. Plus, if we give them these skills young, how to properly breathe in through the
Mhm.
body, like the breath itself is a huge tool in regulating emotions, supporting the immune system, cognitive therapy. Um, all sorts of things. So that's a big passion of mine, is to basically self-care nannies. So now I've got the Om Zone Nanny Om Zone yoga and mindfulness memberships. I've got them for nannies. I've got them nannying kids, and then also families as a whole. So you can practice virtually all together from the safety of your own home and kind of connect. And I take you through 10-week curriculums. So you're able to really kind of connect with your child in a different way, whether you're a nanny or your family or you're a whole care team. But more importantly, you're strengthening your care team language, understanding of social and emotional skills, which is kind of at the heart of what we need to be changing inside the
Mhm.
homes of domestic care providers and parents, bridging that gap that we so desperately seek to fill in, but we don't know how. But this kind of solves that problem 150% actually. So I just took my mind for all the last nannies through their mindful nanny training. I have another one in March, and the feedback has been phenomenal. And not even just from them, but their families, their parents, their coworkers that own an agency with them, or just everybody sees the difference. And that's exactly what I was hoping for, is just to take care of nannies and make it accessible way to understand what's happening on the inside here so
Yeah.
that we can connect with children on their interior and figure out what's going on. But we have to embody something before we can see it, recognize it, right, and
Right.
experience it, right? So
So,
yeah,
if you don't mind me asking, what exactly is mindfulness?
that's a really good question. I love that you asked that. So, and it's something that's really thrown around, and if you Google it, you'll find like 1,000 different examples.
Hmm.
So let's take a moment here and just even practice it. So mindfulness is really feeling your feet beneath the ground, feeling the body on top of the chair you're sitting on, feeling where your hands are. Maybe even move your hands right now and feel the sensation of your hands. And then
Hmm.
noticing with your eyes what you're really looking at and fully paying attention. So actively listening, actively engaging with somebody, and also all the while being very present of what emotions and thoughts are coming up without attaching yourself to the story. So you're really living in the present moment versus in the past in your thoughts or in the future of expectations, like what's next. So as leaders, right, we're always trying to set everybody in the industry up for success. And we might be talking to somebody, but we might be thinking about what's next, you know?
Yeah.
So like Angela's going to come on next and you want to make sure everything's lined up and the messages are pulling through while you're doing the live Zoom, but it's really grounding in through something that feels and resonates to you. So maybe it's your feet, maybe it's your body. Then you find that mindful body, that mindful breath, and then you're able to make room to observe what thoughts are coming in and how you might be feeling in this moment and what stories do we start to build, like Brene Brown talks about. We can attach ourselves to these stories, and then we can change our whole lives by attaching ourselves to one thought that's not actually the reality of what's happening in this moment. So that's my version of mindfulness. I encourage anybody to reach out to the most recent graduates of the Mindful Nanny training program, and they have their own definition, and it's really beautiful. It's kind of this unfolding of not being so caught up in the future or in the
Yeah.
past or regret or sadness, all feelings that we should give ourselves permission to feel, but being just
So
aware of what's
basically,
happening.
yeah,
Yeah,
present in the moment
yeah,
and kind of stepping back and slowing down.
yeah,
A little bit.
yes, exactly. And breathing through the moments, pausing. So learning how to really respond versus react, which can be
Mm,
incredibly helpful in a leadership role like the nanny role, especially with parents or with kiddos that are toddlers and they're very reactive, and they should be. They're
yeah.
learning and exploring, but as adults we could model a different kind of behavior if we learn to embody it. So it's
Mm,
fascinating. It's really neat. It's completely changed my life. I am so glad I've gone through the program and done it myself, and now just giving the gift of what I've learned and passing it forward basically.
yeah.
And they get to create something all on their own through this training that's going to really resonate with families in a different way.
Hmm.
I
You
mean,
have such a soothing voice. Like I want to take
well,
a nap.
thank
It's so
you.
sweet and just like
Thank you.
breath, like
Thank
breath.
you.
So can we talk about boundaries a little bit? I know
Yes.
this is something that I've had to learn as a nanny.
Mm,
What do you tell the nanny who's afraid to speak up and she's just super stressed out?
mm, that's a really good question. I think finding your why first and making time and space to figure out why. And maybe you feel and really observing that first moment when you feel and sense it in your body. So whether your employer's talking to you and they're asking you for extra hours on a weekend, that while you really need those extra hours, what is your body telling you in this moment?
Yeah.
And giving yourself space, right? So whether that's 5 breaths before you respond to an email, to a text, really 5 big deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, or even in person, even allowing yourself permission time. So, when a parent maybe oversteps a boundary, or I have to remind them, what that's like, or they're asking for something that I feel like I can't show up fully for. I want to, I desire
Mhm.
to. That's the caregiving heart,
Yeah.
but I need to pause for a moment and check in and see if that really works for me. And it's first finding what's happening in the body and then asking, can I have a little bit more time to process on that? Thank you so much for the opportunity for me to serve you in extra hours. While I really need the extra hours, I need to make sure that it's the right decision for my body because I want to be prepared for you and your kids come Monday morning. And then maybe finding a backup nanny and finding a care team. That way the parents understand what's going on. Princess P, she's Nashville Nanny, Tennessee. She's amazing. She's like a dear friend of mine. And she put this in a really interesting way. You're not only just caring for the kids, you're doing the job that two parents do. and you're likely taken care of, right? Isn't that interesting? And
Yeah.
it's so true. And you're really holding the weight of the world for this entire family and the home and
Mhm.
the pets and the extended family and
Mhm.
all the things that come in moment by moment, which makes us so amazing. So we shouldn't play small.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super important. Super important. So, you have a program, right?
Yes,
And
yes, I do.
so, how can everybody get involved? And can you give a little bit more about the program? So that,
Yes. Okay. So I train caregivers of children virtually, and I've made it more accessible virtually now during the pandemic. I've accelerated my entire business plan. I used to do this at schools and workshops in the community. I used to hold little summits here in PDX, Portland, where I live. So if you live here, come say hi. But the link in my bio on Instagram at the Mindful Nanny Collective and at the Mindful Care Collective, you can check out. I have a million resources. I also have a free subscriber hub and so forth, but I offer 6 different memberships, 3 of them being for nanny agencies who really want to set themselves apart from other agencies and support the care of all of their members. That's social and emotional learning,
mhm,
that's connection with the body and the mind, that's cognitive behavioral therapy, that's all sorts of things. And you get a discount. Through being a part of this network, not only can you market yourself, connect with nanny business owners and childcare industry leaders, but also offer a discount for your own nanny's self-care, which is really important to me. That's at the heart of what I'm doing is I want to really support families and nannies. The second tier of memberships that I have that are for nannies, and they're just the memberships themselves. If you don't go through an agency and get a discount there, is you've got the nanny home zone memberships, and you get unlimited classes for the month in yoga and mindfulness. You can choose the live classes, or you can also, they're always recorded. So you have them available for a month and then you get another round. They come with your playlist, they come with like a million resources to use with the kids. I've been told that I'm charging too little for what I'm offering, and that's not a bad thing in my opinion. I feel really happy with my pricing and I feel really good, and I'm here to support families and kids. So I want to make it affordable for all as best I can. And then there's Nanny and Me OMA or OM Zone memberships, which is super fun because then you get videos every month on and that you could do with your kids. And we talk about these big concepts of concentration and finding your calm and what do emotions look like. And we move through the body through yoga. So it
mhm.
starts to help them understand the anatomy of their body. And then we dive a little bit deeper and help them understand what emotions might be rising. And then we've got the family and nanny uh, memberships, and that includes the whole care team. So everybody gets an unlimited membership. You get private sessions with me one-on-one twice a month. And nanny agencies, for their members, you get a video that you can send them once a month to drive an interest in what does this look like to play with my child in a really effective way. And they're small little classes, so it makes it not too big of a concept for kids, but you can take the same concept you learn in these classes and replicate it every single day with your kids, starting with a conversation, around emotions, around food, around active listening, um, all sorts of things. It's really neat. And feelings. Talking about feelings is important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I know we talked a lot about mindfulness, but let's switch to yoga.
Ooh, yes.
Um, Tell us a little bit about that. Like I've tried, I think I did it years ago, but I wasn't too good at it. But talk to us about how yoga works, what it does for you, and things like that.
Great question. Big proponent of yoga, and the mindfulness piece kind of ties in so perfectly because we're incorporating movement that moves in some of our emotions. So there's an awesome book called The Body Keeps the Score, and it talks about how we hang on to the emotions of our body. And yoga is a really effective way. There's a million types of yoga out there. I'm a curvy girl. I couldn't really do a lot of yoga when I first went into it. It took me some time to get into it, but it's nothing that nobody could just walk into. Everybody can walk into it and try it out, and it can be effective. And I do a little combination of all the things, but yoga is huge. Just the concept of carving out the time to connect with your body movement and really sensing in, like feeling your bicep, breathing in through that area, breathing back out, releasing any emotions you may be hanging on to or tension, and even noticing what's happening in the body. So if anybody wants more information, it's a really awesome opportunity to go look up like on Harvard's website, you can go check out their mindfulness as well as their yoga science that just came out this last year. Also, Mindful Schools is a really great, if you want to understand how this supports children and why they're starting to integrate it into school teachings, that's a great resource as well. There's a really moving documentary on there. But the idea of connecting with your body, carving out time to explore what feels good for you, kind of playing, noticing how it feels to lift a leg up gently and kindly. And all of the yoga is really gentle. It's not that stereotypical, what you see on Instagram. You know, as yoga teachers, we're really trying to get that ish out the door and
Mhm.
stop that's a barrier that's not working for people, and that takes away the whole premise of yoga and where it first started. And it supports the brain function, the overall stress, your cognitive disassociation or association and so forth. But for kids, it's a really great opportunity. Like we'll do like, okay, 5-pointed star, we take up space here, open up your heart, shine your heart, and having these concepts of opening up the heart, being vulnerable, taking on, it's just really interesting. I could go on and on and on. I know I really respect your time, so I just want to make sure we're good. But it's really fun way to connect with kids, and effective and safe too for the body, for everybody.
Nice, nice. Well, this has been amazing. Can you tell everybody where they can find you again
Yes.
online, social media?
Absolutely. So you can check me out on Instagram. And if you happen to watch this, slide into my DM at the Mindful Nanny Collective and the Mindful Care Collective. I'll give you a little discount on your membership or your next workshop. I do self-care workshops for nannies. We just had one last Friday. It was so amazing, like
Yes.
sweet
Can you
bliss
tell
for
us
two
about
hours.
that?
Yes, it was so awesome. So we did 2 hours and actually took, instead of just doing 50% of the proceeds, I gave all the proceeds to my friend who has a nonprofit to help with, it was just an amazing evening. So we start out the evening, you get really comfy, nice comfy clothes, put some candles on. I send you a playlist. You can listen to the playlist during the time together. We open up with a nice meditation to kind of get you in your body, going from this mode of doing to just like simply being. And it's sweet bliss and it's restorative. So you're kind of holding these poses while you're laying down for longer periods of time, just allowing yourself to release anything you're hanging on to and letting it all go on the ground. And kind of this sense of community amongst nannies is so important. And that reminder, it was so beautiful to see everybody together there. And we were able to connect and, talk to each other about what's on each other's minds, had a million laughs, and then got into it. And I'm telling you, when I said goodbye to everybody was like, just like, so you could see the relaxation in the face. And as
Oh,
caregivers, we really deserve that. We really
yeah.
need it. We did a kindness loving meditation about restoring your heart and respecting yourself as a caregiver and supporting your self care body, knowing that you're worthy of that. And I think that's the most important thing because, like, we got to put our mask on before we provide to others, right? And
Yeah.
it's really important to just give that self-love so we can model it. We can't be putting ourselves on the back burner and expecting that our next generation is going to know better. We have to model the behaviors. That's the biggest teacher in life,
Mhm.
um, we could talk all day long about
Yeah.
self-care and all the things, but unless you embody it, you
Yeah.
don't know. So the mindful nanny training is coming up here in March. Link is in the bio. You can check that out. It's 8 weeks of just pure bliss, teaching you self-care. We meet together live every Saturday. It includes a 4-hour silent retreat. Alumni from the graduation program are always welcome back to the silent retreat for free. You get your whole membership for a lifetime. So you can always access that information. And then you can also take the full certification roadmap, which the following two would be you can become a mindful preschool teacher, and then also a certified, both certifications, and then also a certified children's yoga teacher, and then take the mindful family facilitator certification. So once you take all four, you can be listed on my website as a mindful family facilitator, and you can teach all of these concepts. Plus, it gives you an extra opportunity to make money outside of the nanny realm, because sometimes we just need to take a break for a moment and step into
Yeah.
something else, but that still gives back to the community in the way that honors our hearts and who we are as caregivers. So
I
that's
love
there's
it.
a lot there, but you can check out my link, slide into my DM if you have any questions. I would just love to get to know people. I like building community. Oh, and Sunday, bi-weekly Sunday free nanny chats. Everyone is always welcome into that space. It's really fun. We're actually going to play some bingo games on the 20th. So please, if you want to make it too, it would be so nice to see you. But whoever could make it. So Yes, the 20th. We're going to play a bingo game and just kind of connect with community. And there's people from London, there's people from all over the world, actually. It's really neat. So
Nice. Well, I
thank
love what you're doing. We need it. We've needed it for a long time. And so I truly appreciate your time tonight. Just sharing all your wealth and your knowledge, and you're making some waves in our industry. And so thank you.
you.
Thank you for everything you do and your sacrifice, and for caring enough to focus on self-care. So
Thank you.
much
And you.
success.
You are rocking it. Self-care boxes for nannies. So beautiful. That's
Oh,
amazing.
thank
Nanny
you.
fees, all your nannypreneurship stuff that you have going on. It's so beautiful. I see people clicking on your images of you supporting them all the time. And I
Oh,
just think that's so beautiful. Thank you for setting the standard and also for being so warm 2 or 3 years ago and really bringing me into this space. It meant a lot. So thank you.
yay. Well, thank you. We're
Yes,
gonna have to do
absolutely.
this again.
Yes,
We'll definitely
absolutely.
have a part two. And
Yes, I'd love to have
um,
you too on. That'd be really
yay, I
fun.
would
Yes,
love to
yes,
come.
yes. Okay, well, have a wonderful time with Angela.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Oh, wasn't that sweet? She's just so relaxing and chill, and just so you guys make sure to follow the Mindful Nanny Collective. Hopefully I said that right. um I might have it all jacked up, but make sure you also, Alexa Ray, put your info on the video on Facebook, and we're going to support what you're doing, y'all. I'm telling y'all, nannies are just simply amazing. So I'm excited about part two tonight. Make sure you get your pen and paper ready, because Miss Angela is going to come and just share some good goodies with us. Oh, she's so gifted, y'all. So gifted. Hello. Let's see. She's connecting. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hold
Good.
on.
How are you?
You change the view on my uh let's see, full screen. Yes, there we go.
Yay.
Tasking over here. I got I got training going on one phone. I got you
Oh,
live on the other phone, and now I'm on the computer. I'm doing it.
good. I love it. So I'm going to put you in full screen shortly, but just tell us a little bit. Some of you may or may not know Miss Angela Johnson. Ask the Nanny, That Jam Good, Recipes Galore. I mean, she's doing all the things, all of the things. Can you give us a little snippet of your nanny history, how long you've been in the industry, and
Okay, so I've been in the industry for since I was 11, so that's like 43 years. I
oh,
have been in the nanny industry specifically since 2002. No, 2001. Um, yeah, Will was 18. Yeah, 2001. I had to think, when was my first nanny child? But yeah, 2001. I've been in the nanny industry, so it's in April, it'll be 20 years.
wow. You need to
Yeah.
have a party if Rona lets us.
Oh, if I don't party, would do nothing but go get me some ice cream and some salted caramel and put some
Ooh,
sprinkles some nuts and brownie on top.
yeah,
Oh,
that sounds amazing.
surprise! I'll just have me a treat.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, I've been in the industry for 43 years, been a nanny specifically for almost 20 years. I am a newborn care specialist.
Mhm.
So I have my uniform on. I'm going to work tonight.
Oh, are
Uh,
you?
I'm doing all of it.
Wow.
I told you, I'm multitasking. I
Oh,
meant it. I'm multitasking.
I love.
So, but yeah, I started um, 2 years ago in 2018. Yeah, 2018. I just stopped specifically nannying and started doing more overnights. I still do some nanny work. The baby that I'm working with now, that I just started working with, I will transition from overnight to daytime, part-time nanny,
Mhm.
so that they can get on track and get a schedule going during the daytime. Right now, they just want to sleep.
Oh,
So
yeah.
baby's like 6 days old. So right now, they
Oh,
just want to sleep. So we're
yeah.
going to go from sleeping to sleep conditioning, and hopefully she won't need sleep training
Mhm.
because she'll already be conditioned to sleep.
I
But
love it. I love it. And so along with that, I don't know how long it's been, but you started cooking live.
I started that in March as a way of coping with COVID.
Mm. Mhm.
Cooking is my happy place. Being in my kitchen and cooking and sharing with my neighbors, and they're like, "Oh, this tastes so good." I'm like, "Okay, I got it right." So that's my coping mechanism between
Yeah.
walking and cooking. That's how I have been dealing with COVID. It has not been easy, but it has been manageable. So, but I started in March cooking, and I started, once a week, then a couple times a week. Then I tried to stop, and somebody said, "You didn't cook today," and I was like, um, "No, I didn't, did I?" "When you gonna cook again?" I'm like,
Mhm.
"Well, next week. Let's try next week." So
Yeah.
then it just became a regular thing, and now it's an uh, I'm expecting you to come on and cook, even though I don't know how many people watch me, because if they're not friends with me on Facebook, it will only show my friends and the number of my friends that are watching. But
Mhm.
I've had people come and tell me, I have no clue who they are. "Oh, I enjoyed your recipe." I was like, were you watching? I didn't see your name." So I don't
Wow.
know how many people are watching, how many aren't. I share it to my group, so it may be someone that's watching from one of my nanny groups. So
Mhm.
it just depends on that as to who's watching. But
Well,
I love it. I love cooking. It relieves stress.
yeah.
It it just makes me happy. It gets my happy endorphins going. And I apologize. My neighbors have let their dogs out.
Oh,
It's
it's
that
okay.
time of night, and every night at this time I hear the barking. So if you all hear the barking, it's my neighbor's dog. I don't have one. So
Well,
just so
awesome.
you
Well, y'all, I have tasted Angela's food, and she has a jam that she makes, and that jam good. Can you tell us about this jam?
know. Okay, the name of my company is This Jam Good. And actually Chevelle came up with that name. She was at my house, and we were taking a sleeping class, and I was making some plum jam, and she was like, "Oh, that smells so good. Are you gonna share?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm making it for you all." "Oh my gosh!" And so I shared jam with everyone, and she said, "You need to come up with a name for this. What are you calling it?" I said, "Nothing right now." So we brainstormed for, well, I shouldn't say brainstorm. We just started talking and throwing out names. And she said, "This jam is good." She said, "That's what you need to call it. This jam good." And at first I thought she said another word. I was like, "Say what?" And she said, "This jam good." I said, "Oh, got it. Perfect. Yes." Easy to remember. So that's how I got its name. And I started out sharing with friends, and then it ended up a friend said, "Well, my other friend wants some. Will you sell me some?" I said, "Sure." "So what do you have?" So then it just tumbled from there.
Mhm.
So, and here it is, almost 2 years, because I started in January of 2019. So it's been almost 2 years. And now this Christmas, I'm sending out Christmas boxes, the Christmas breakfast box. I collaborated with a couple of people in the industry, small businesses, and here it is. And it grew. It started out as a thought process. It was
Mhm.
going to be just a jam basket. That was it. And then I had a come to Jesus meeting Thanksgiving morning with God, and as I'm eating Thanksgiving dinner, it's like a download came, and I
Mhm.
was like, oh, yes. And before I knew it, I was on the phone. "Hey, I know it's Thanksgiving, but can we?" And the jam box became, and what started out as being like 7 or 8 items has now grown to 15. And my
Wow.
husband was like, I said, I need to stop. I know, I know.
Amazing.
So I'm all about giving,
Yeah.
and I love I know this is a hard time for everyone, and the object was for me to break even. Well, I probably won't. As a matter of fact, I know I won't, but the fact that I can bring joy and smiles to people's faces, I can um, just share parts of me, because a lot of the stuff in the box is a part of me,
Yeah.
a part of my. I don't want to give everything away. How can I say this? It's a part of me and my personality. I'm
Mm,
sharing a part of me with you. I'll put it
yeah,
like that.
I love it.
Uh,
So you were going to show us a simple snack tonight, right?
yes, yes. I
And
have
then
two
you have
things. Okay. Move my chair out of the way so you can see. I have my camera position. Let me see this way. Let me hold it up. Let's see if I. Here, can you see me? Okay, so the ingredients you're gonna need is some yogurt. I like this Greek goddess, the Greek god, the Greek gods. I like this yogurt, the honey yogurt. I love this. And your favorite granola. Um, this is vanilla blueberry granola with flax seeds. I try to get granola that has flax seeds or some other type of, and it has quinoa too. So it has some protein in there. It's high in fiber. So that's good for your digestive system. And I always have fruit in my freezer. I have some frozen blueberries. Can you see that? So what I do is, as we talked, I have jam. So I take my little jam jar and I take my granola and I put it on the bottom, because it's kind of like overnight oats. And I like putting it on the bottom because it kind of softens. I have very tender gums, so it softens up the granola, kind of like to like an oatmeal substance of rolled oats. And so what I do is I take it and I pour it in about a third of it. So you have that much in the jar. And then I take my yogurt and I spoon it on top. If I can get my yogurt open, grab my spoon. I'll show you how I do this. I just kind of put it in there and pack it in. I usually put about 2 to 3 spoonfuls in there. So that way I get some good protein with my yogurt. And then I put some blueberries on top. One of those right there. And I put it in this jar because I can put it in the refrigerator. If I'm in a hurry, I can grab it out of the refrigerator, snatch it up, put it in my lunch bag, and then I put my lid on. And I have me a little parfait.
how cute.
And I can just take it I put it in the refrigerator. So by morning, um, the oats have gotten wet from the juice from the blueberries and from the yogurt. And I just kind of stir it up with a spoon. I have all those little plastic spoons. I bought some, and I'll just grab a spoon. I usually have one in my lunchbox, and I just take it with me, and I'll have it at work. And by the time I snatch it out of the refrigerator, the blueberries have melted. So I keep 2 or 3 of these in my refrigerator. I have them as a snack. I have them sometimes when I don't feel like cooking and my husband's out of town on business, it becomes a meal. I'll grab that, make me some eggs and spinach, and and a cup of coffee in the evening, and I'm good. Now, another thing I wanted to tell you all about is I make a detox water. And my detox water consists of some pineapple chunks. I use fresh pineapple. As you can tell, I just kind of slice it and I just cut the chunks, and I use this is a ginger root. So I peel the ginger root and I just kind of slice it and I put it in my pitcher. This pitcher has a lid to it, but I just put it in my pitcher. I fill it up to about right here with ginger. Can you see that? I fill it to about right there with ginger and pineapple, and then I put some water in there, and I let it sit overnight. I'll put it like, if I did it this morning, I won't drink it until tomorrow morning. I let it kind of sit for 24 hours. And before I pour it out, I just kind of swirl it around. So all it's kind of an infused water. But the ginger is good for your digestive system. It has a lot of enzymes in it that help keep you healthy. The pineapple has a lot of vitamin C in there. And it helps to it that instead, if you can't find the extra C, the emergency, this pineapple helps you to build your immune system. It helps to build up that the extra vitamin C to help keep you healthy. So I will make me some water. I drank the last of mine this morning, so that's why I have my pineapple out there. But yeah, those are some of the things that I like to use on the fly uh, to get me by. There are so many different other little tricks and tools that I do to make sure that I don't overeat,
Yeah.
and to make sure that, because sitting in the house all day is one thing to go walking, but when you come back and just sit because you have nothing else to do,
Mhm.
it doesn't help that I'm not active the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And I keep wanting to know, why am I not losing this weight? I've been working every day. I've been working out. I've been doing this. But when your body is used to not only working out, but going and doing and wrangling kids all day, and you're not doing that, it
Mhm.
becomes your body just kind of just holds on to everything.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I didn't have to buy some new clothes during this season. So that I am glad of. My clothes still fit, so I'm like, yes, they
Good.
fit differently, but they still fit. I'm like,
I
okay,
understand.
differently is good, but don't make me go buy a new wardrobe.
Right.
So I try to, all the things that you all see me cook online. I have nice neighbors, and I will take some out for us because I'm used to cooking for grown. When I say grown men, my boys eat like grown men. They
Mhm.
are grown men now, but when they were little, they ate like grown men. So I don't know how to get out of cooking for an army. So I'm like, okay, so my neighbors are going to be the beneficiaries of all this cooking. And
Mhm.
I spread it out. I have neighbors on two sides of me and across the street that I share the food with. So
Amazing.
I don't have it in the house, and I'm not constantly snacking on the goodies that I produce. And I'm like, you can't do this. You can't
Mhm.
cook and keep all this in the house, and it's just two of you,
Yeah.
because both of you all will be rolling out the door. Uh,
Oh, I love
there's
it.
a method to my madness,
Yeah.
but it helps when you do meal planning. And because I would spend Sunday, before I started cooking during the week, I would spend Sunday cooking 3 or 4 different meals. And I put them in little portion size containers,
Mhm.
and I would put them um, in the refrigerator. I made chili last week,
Mm.
and I took my portion size containers, and I feel like 5 of them, put the lids on them, labeled them that with freezer tape. I just put some little freezer tape on there, labeled it, and put it out in the freezer. I have a freezer in my garage.
Nice.
So on a cold night, or my husband says, well, what do you want for dinner? Uh, let's go check the freezer, because I have like chicken soup out there. I have chili.
Oh,
I
wonderful.
have little portion sizes of meatloaf. I make them in the tins instead of having the loaf pan where I can just go and just slice all off, give me a big old hunk of it and overeat.
Mhm.
I take the large muffin tins and I make little individual um, meatloafs.
I love
That way,
that.
it's a portion size. You
Mhm.
get one, and it's easier to do that and to discipline yourself when it's already in the portion size.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just go grab one of this, one of that, one of this, and I'm done. That's dinner.
Mhm.
So that makes it a whole lot easier for me when I
Yeah.
do it that way. And I know it looks all nice and pretty on TV, but when behind the scenes, y'all should see me put this stuff in. Okay, no, that's just too much.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yes. So you have something big coming out. You announced the other day that you're releasing something. Can you tell us what you're releasing?
I am releasing a cookbook, y'all.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years in the making. My dad has been telling me,
Wow.
you need to make a cookbook. You need to make it. You need to write a book. You need to write a book. You need to write a book. I said, well, what kind of book am I gonna write? Well, you can cook, your life story, you're a
Mhm.
nanny, you got all kinds of stuff in you.
Mhm.
You write daily messages, inspirational messages. You need to write a book about that. So he had
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 books. And my passion, my one of my true passions, even when I was a child, was cooking.
Mm.
So I was like, I'm gonna go with my passion. If that works out, then I'll start and do some of the other stuff that he saw in me. But I'm gonna start with something that I'm passionate about that I know is true to me.
I
So
love it.
a cookbook is coming out. It has three
Congratulations.
different, thank you. It has 30 recipes in there. There's snacks, there's side dishes, there's one pot meals. Um, some of them include like the chicken Florentine.
Mhm.
And I have a spinach bread that I make with it. And because the chicken Florentine has spinach inside, so it kind of pairs well together. And some of the some of the desserts is my grandma's tea cakes.
Ooh.
Oh, love. They're not super sweet, but
Mhm.
they are truly addictive. Yeah, oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, so and the dough, you can freeze the dough. I have frozen
Oh,
it. I
nice.
just take it and wrap it in wax paper and roll it out up in like a roll.
Mhm.
Like you know how how thick a rolling pin is,
Yeah.
or better yet, the dough that you get, the Pillsbury Doughboy dough that you get in the little plastic, and you can
Oh,
just
yeah.
cut it like that. Well, if you
Uh-huh.
wrap it in wax paper and you put rubber bands on the ends, throw it in a Ziploc bag, you can throw it in the freezer. Take
Nice.
out one, let it thaw out, and before it gets completely thawed out, just kind of cut it in little sections, throw it in the oven, and that way you're not uh, overeating, and you
Mhm.
have to think about it before you take it out. Do I really want to wait on this to unthaw?
Right.
And
Right.
sometimes it deters you from eating too much. So I
Wow.
have to be thoughtful with what I do because I'll be big as a house because I love to cook. And the first thing I love to cook is sweets. When I get
Yeah.
nervous and stressed, I cook sweets. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
there's a peanut butter bar in there, no cook peanut butter bar, chocolate, like Reese's cup.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm.
Mm.
I had to walk away from that. And I shared it with my neighbor, but it's so yummy. There are peppermint mocha balls
Oh,
that I take to Christmas parties, although I won't be taking any this year.
uh-huh.
But they're made from Oreos and cream cheese, and you
Mm.
dip them in the little white chocolate and sprinkle them with peppermint. Easy, no cooking. All you gotta do is melt the chocolate.
Mhm.
Easy, and you can freeze those too.
Wow.
So, yeah,
I can't wait to
there's
partake.
always snacks
Uh-huh.
around here, but they're in the freezer. So you have to think, do I want to? I put them in the freezer for a reason, and I put a date on them. And when company comes over, what you got in the freezer? I know you got something in the freezer. I take them out. Okay, here's your choices, and I've given them to guests. But making good choices, especially now during COVID, a lot of junk food is not good for you.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, Try to eat healthy. That's why I started the detox water. But the cookbook has all of my favorite recipes in there. Uh,
Mhm.
the cornbread, let's get the cornbread.
Mhm.
all of that. And my next cookbook, I might share my cornbread dressing recipe.
Oh, please do. I've made a really bad dressing. I tried one time. I said, I'm not making it again. So I will try yours if you put it in the second cookbook.
It's
Oh,
I found an easy way for me to do it
mm-hmm.
and get it right every time.
Okay.
So if you just follow it, it's very easy. It's very simple. Um, I can't do stovetop stuffing because that's not what I'm used to.
Mm.
I've tried stovetop stuffing and it came out like glue. I said, nope, this is not for me.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say, how you do that? It's just experimenting in your kitchen. And that's one of the things that I stress.
Mm-hmm.
Experiment in your kitchen. Your taste buds are your taste buds.
Yeah.
And every recipe that is in my book, you can experiment with it. If you don't like the flavors in there, change them. The salmon that I have in there, the salmon with dill butter, I have used that same salmon and made a bourbon sauce to go with it. I have used the same salmon and made a teriyaki sauce to go with it. I have used the same salmon and made salmon croquettes. I it is and salmon croquette is in and this is not the canned salmon.
No, we
This
do
is the
fresh.
fresh
Yes.
cooked and the trick to it because it's in the book. Instead of using regular cornmeal, use the fish fry
Oh,
already seasoned.
okay. Oh, I have to try that.
It's already seasoned, and because you don't have to get it. There's no guesswork of what seasoning am I gonna put in here. If you use the fish fry, it's already seasoned, and it tastes yum. And then there's a little dill ranch dressing that I make to
Mm.
go over it because I love dill butter on my salmon. But
Uh-huh.
there's a dill ranch dressing that goes over it that is yum.
Hmm.
So there's sauces and gravies and there's a no fail pie crust in there. You can't get it wrong.
Oh.
And because I have tried and I tried and I tried, I said, and I told my grandmother, I can't make a pie crust. She said, girl, come here. I was like, yes, ma'am. And
Hmm.
so she showed me, she gave me the recipe. She said, now, don't you share this with nobody. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I'm just joking. You can share it. I said, you sure? Because my grandmother is funny about her recipes. But I have taken some of her recipes, made them my own, changed them, experimented with them, and created new recipes from them.
I love it.
And love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Good. Well, y'all, I'm hungry now. Like just listening to you talk. I cannot wait to purchase your book. You guys make sure you follow Angela. She is seriously doing some amazing things. And we have to eat. So what better way to, support than by just buying the cookbook? It'll be out soon, right?
Yes,
Okay.
probably next week.
Awesome.
We're working on the e-commerce part of it to get it on my website because it's digital
Okay.
and you can download it from anywhere in the world. So just because you may not live here, you have some of the same ingredients there.
Hmm.
Wherever you are, you have some of the same ingredients there. That's why I said experiment in your kitchen. All these recipes can be altered to fit your taste buds and your allergies, because I have allergies.
Hmm.
So a lot of things that I don't put peppers in. It calls for peppers, hot peppers, but I don't put no peppers in there. On my side, I put it on my husband's side, but not on my side
Yeah.
of the plate. So uh, you can adapt these recipes to your needs. There are some vegan recipes in there. And some vegan recipes that can be turned into, if you need meat, add meat to it.
Mhm.
That can be done too.
I love it. This has been amazing. Like I'm seriously about that. As soon as we're done, I'm going to eat. So you guys be sure to follow Angela. Just doing awesome things. She has broadcasts every week. Her recipes galore almost every day. So just go at
On Tuesdays and Fridays.
Tuesdays and Fridays, and you're also
Yes.
on YouTube. So go find Angela at Ask the Nanny on YouTube.
Ask the Nanny on YouTube.
Okay.
There,
Instagram, Facebook,
yes,
everywhere.
Instagram, Facebook. Uh, I'm on Twitter, but I very rarely tweet. So
Yeah, same here.
so find me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And also on my YouTube page, if you watch Ask the Nanny, there are archives of Ask the Nanny that Facebook probably does not have anymore. So all those old shows, I go back and look at them. I'm like, oh Lord, what was I thinking?
But you did it,
I
which is
did
good.
it. I did it. So go find it. And while you're there, subscribe and
Yes.
comment and like.
I love it. I love it. Y'all, Angela, this has been amazing. Thank you for
You're
taking the
welcome. You're
time. I know you have
welcome.
to go to work and you're in training. So I truly appreciate your time. I'm excited. Y'all go buy the box, go buy, look, keep your eyes open for Angela's book, the jam, everything. I cannot wait to see what comes of it. We're gonna see you on TV. We just may see Miss Ask the Nanny on TV.
See, you said that because my dad used to tell me, "You're gonna be the super nanny and you're gonna have your own show." And well, Daddy, yeah, okay. So when I got on Facebook, uh, he said that you going to do your show? I said, yeah, the Facebook
Oh,
broadcast. He said, well, it's just like TV. More people watch the book than they do the TV. I
this
said,
that's real. That's where I
I
get my
was
news on
like,
Facebook.
listen at my daddy, the
That's
book.
real.
I was like, okay, daddy. So
I
he
love it.
claimed it. And so now I am fulfilling that prophecy that he has
Yes.
claimed over my life. So
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you.
you're
Thank you
welcome.
so much. And you be safe
Thank
out there,
you.
loving on those babies.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Okay.
Mask in hand, you know, all
Yeah.
that good stuff.
All right. Well,
And
I'll
you
talk to you
stay
soon.
safe there in Dallas.
I will. I will. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wow. Y'all, I'm so hungry right now. And I'm not just saying this, but I have had Angela's food. She had her Sunday socials, and I'm telling y'all, Angela can cook. So I cannot wait to purchase her cookbook. Um, if you've not bought a box, I'm not sure if Angela's still selling them, but support, support, support. Do you see the gifts and the talent in the nanny industry? Like, who else does this but nannies? Like, we're cooking, we're doing mindfulness and all sorts of other things. So I'm excited. Thank you for watching. Be sure to stay tuned. We're going to do more of this next year because we really, really need to take care of ourselves. While we're taking care of other people, we cannot forget to take care of ourselves because we matter too. And our health is important. It's a priority. So we're going to work on that. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to share this with somebody. So if you didn't watch, my birthday was yesterday. So this week, save 10% using Steph, all caps, Steph10 at nannytees.com. So thank you guys for supporting. Thank you for watching. I'm excited about what's coming. I'm going to eat because Angela got me all hungry and stuff. So I love y'all. Have a good night. Bye.